Are you feeling stressed in your life right now? If yes, I'll give you 4 ways to distress your life. Keep watching. Welcome everybody! We are living right now in very intense and stressful times. Recent events influence our mental and physical shape. First, we experienced the virus COVID-19 when we were locked in our houses for around 5 months. Everything stopped, no work and any activities outside of the house. Most of us became more depressed than normally by being glued to TV and social media, by receiving constantly negative news. Most of us picked up some few extra pounds as well, which added to the general stress level. Then suddenly we have thousands of people on the streets demonstrating. Some of them rioting and looting the stores and businesses, destroying cars and setting properties on fire. People are getting injured and are being killed. This event weighs so much more than few extra pounds picked up during COVID-19 pandemic. This weighs thousands of pounds right on our mental health, causing an enormous amount of stress to all of us, no matter the color of the skin and no matter the political stance. How do you protect your mental health? How do you manage your stress at a reasonable level so you are healthy? Is it possible to do it at all in such extraordinary times? Right now, I'll give you 4 ways how to distress during this unique time we are living in. There is much more you can do to distress, but all those ways I use personally, and they are great help for me. So I want to speak from my own experience, and I hope some of them may be helpful for you. So let's do it. Number 1, limit daily time you are spending watching TV and your time spent on the computer and on the phone. This is number 1 and the most important way to protect yourself from the world around you. When you don't set up a time limit for watching news on TV or checking social media for news, you end up wasting huge amounts of time. And you are receiving enormous amount of negative information, because 99% of information in media outlets are negative. You are convinced that most of the events happening around the world are negative, which of course is not true. This is building unnecessary stress. You have trouble sleeping, you are becoming more irritated. So limit the time and be very strict about the time spent on TV and social media. My limit is 1 hour per day for TV, Facebook, YouTube. And I do this at one time, because when I was doing this in 2 parts, I ended up spending 2 hours altogether, because I had a hard time to finish after one session of 30 minutes. So I decided to do this at once. Number 2, don't believe in all the information you hear on social media and TV that they are all accurate and true. You have to realize that nowadays the main goal of all media outlets is not to provide you with accurate, true, and honest reporting about current events. The main goal of all media right now is to create certain emotions towards or against events happening in the country and around the world. By doing this, media are molding your social, economical, and political views without you even realizing this. Let me give you the example. 2003, February 5th, Colin Powell in his speech in United Nations outlined the United States case that Iraq possessed weapons of mass destruction, making the argument for the invasion that would happen the following month. His speech was so convincing to me that I strongly believed that all what was said was true, to the point that I was ready to sign up for the army and go to war to defend America. After a couple of years, we all found out that there was no weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. And the destruction of Iraq caused destabilization of all the Middle East until now. There is constant war there without visible chance of permanent peace. Thousands of people died unnecessarily and are still dying. But when I was listening to the speech, I felt very strong emotions and huge stress, completely unnecessarily. So right now, think about recent social, political, and economical events. Do you feel stressed because of them? Do you strongly believe in what is told and what you see in TV and social media is true and accurate? So you might have to take a pause and look at all the info you are absorbing right now from the perspective of Colin Powell's speech in 2003. It may save you a lot of stress and sleepless nights. Number 3, have a hobby and cultivate it consistently. Have something to do besides your work, besides spending time with your family, and besides time spent on TV and the social media, of course. This will take you to the different world. You can have a break from reality and all problems. Great escape and great time for clearing your mind and your spirit. For example, for me, it is playing piano and reading books. I'm the beginner at playing piano. More than 30 years ago, I took a couple of lessons and then I stopped practicing. But around a year ago, I started practicing a little bit, and it is so joyful to play songs which I really love. In my case, those are songs from Star Wars. And it took me a lot of work to learn how to play them. But during the learning process, I was in a different world. And it is so relaxing and mind clearing. My goal right now is to come back to world of piano at least twice a week. Because if I don't do this, time is passing by so fast and I'm busy with work and all different activities that weeks are passing so fast that I end up just doing work, nothing else. So I have to set up my phone reminder twice a week to tell me to sit down and play piano. Reading books is another escape from the reality and great distress activity. I notice when I read books, I remember this much longer than when I watch TV. And I also notice that my imagination and memory works much better. According to the study done in 2009, reading reduced stress levels by as much as 68%, which was more than listening to the music, having a cup of tea, playing video games, or going for a walk. The researchers noted that participants who engaged in just 6 minutes of reading experienced slower heart rate and reduced muscle tensions. Study co-author Dr. David Lewis, a neuropsychologist, said, quote, "It really doesn't matter what book you read. By losing yourself in an interesting book, you can escape from the world, worries and stresses of everyday world and spend a while exploring the world of author's imagination. This is more than merely a distraction, but an active engaging of the imagination as the words of the printed page stimulate your creativity and cause you to enter in essentially a different state of consciousness." And another quote from another study: "Engaging in the stimulative experiences of the fiction literature can facilitate the understanding of others who are different from ourselves and can augment our capacity for empathy and social inference." Study done by Raymond E. Marr and Keith Oatley. This is so accurate for our current situation, where we desperately need more abilities of understanding of other human beings. Maybe if all the people who are rioting and looting right now read more books, all this disastrous situation wouldn't happen, because they could have more empathy and understanding better consequences of their actions. What do you think? In the description, I'll put the link to those studies. It is very interesting to read this. I highly recommend you to see how many benefits reading has for our health besides that what I mentioned here. And number 4, be physically active. Exercise. Pick up the form of exercise you enjoy doing and continue doing it. Put this on your weekly schedule so it is done regularly. Running, lifting weights, yoga, walking, etc. They all have great benefits and will help you to manage stress better. For me, the best activity is swimming. When I go into the water, I feel weightless. It is like being in the space. Plus hearing is limited, so that puts me into completely the state of relaxation which I love so much. I go to the pool all year round. Winters are sometimes hard because when I get out of the water, it is often very cold around the pool. But I'm addicted to this feeling of weightlessness and calmness which water gives me, so I overcome the obstacle of feeling cold after swimming. Those are just 4 ways that work for me, and they might also work for you. But you can find your own ways to distress. Just make sure they are not destroying your health, because your health is your biggest asset you have in your life. If you are losing your health, everything around you will crumble, and it will be harder and harder to do anything in your life without health. So take a good care about your physical and mental health and find the right ways to distress and become stronger and more resistant to unnecessary stressors trying to influence your life. I wish you all the best. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video interesting and useful, please press the like button and subscribe to the channel. And like always, fight for your happiness.